Here's the news from CNN, and this one's rough. Everybody's trying as hard as possible to not say that Donald Trump called for the death of Democrats, but I think it's fair to say that he did. We can't pull our punches here. CNN reports Trump accuses Democratic lawmakers who urged military to disobey illegal orders of seditious behavior, punishable by death. Okay, so here's what Trump truthed. He quite literally just truthed seditious behavior, punishable by death. However, that's not necessarily in reference to anything, so we don't know exactly what he's saying, except he also retruthed this. At P78 on Truth Social said, hang them, George Washington would. And it's an article from the Examiner saying Democratic veterans in Congress urge service members to refuse unspecified unlawful orders. The result of which is, this is Chris Murphy from Connecticut. He is a sitting senator with 1 million followers saying, pick an effing side. I'm going to play this clip for you, but I want to make one thing clear so you can understand how we've come to this point. Democrats are doing what I call the Tweedledee Tweedledum statement. We've talked about this in terms of death threats. Someone will say something like, all Nazis should die. Then the guy next to him points to Raymond and says, he's a Nazi. No single individual called for death or instructed you to kill somebody. But when you see these two statements made side by side, it is a death threat. You just can't prosecute either of them because both of those statements are protected speech. What the Democrats are doing right now is they've been blasting across the internet. Everything Trump does is an illegal order. Deploying Marines, illegal. National Guard, illegal. Then they come out later and say, defy illegal orders. When people rightly say, you are telling people to be insubordinate, you're calling on the military to defy the chain of command, they go, no, it's a legal requirement to defy illegal orders. But they're doing the Tweedledee Tweedledum statement. Now, the result is this. Here's Senator Chris Murphy.
The President of the United States just called for Democratic members of Congress to be executed. This is not normal. We cannot allow this to feel normal. This, as far as I know, has never happened before in the history of the country.
I just need to interject real quick. We did have a civil war where the president was arresting politicians from states he did not like and suspending habeas corpus. And it is Field of Greens from Brickhouse Nutrition. This is good stuff, my friends. We got it right here. It tastes great. I got strawberry lemonade. It's got your veggies. You drink them. Do doctors have Black Friday sales, my friends? The doctors at Brickhouse Nutrition do. They just announced their Black Friday 30% off sale. The biggest sale of the year. The most impressive health and nutrition products in the industry are now 30% off. Like 30% off creatine designed just for women to help women look leaner, in shape, and toned without extra dieting or exercise. Or even 30% off Field of Greens, the only superfruit and vegetable drink shown in university study to actually slow aging. Only Field of Greens promises better health results. Your doctor will notice. Every Brickhouse product from Better Sleep to Superior Collagen is 30% off. But hurry, because these Black Friday deals go fast. Visit BrickhouseSale.com. Save 30%. That's BrickhouseSale.com. One more time, BrickhouseSale.com. Check it out. I'm a big fan. It's good stuff. Sending literal troops into other states to kill people, and then you had Sherman's March to the Sea. So please, for the love of all that is holy, good sir, read a history book.
Every Democratic member of the Senate and the House, their life is in jeopardy right now.
Okay, I got to go back because this is
of the country. Every Democratic member of the Senate and the House, their life is in jeopardy right now, especially those that were specifically targeted by this social media post. Democratic senators and House members who were simply saying that no member of the military should act illegally or in violation of the Constitution. The President of the United States just called for members of Congress to be executed. If you are a person of influence in this country,
oh, that's us.
Maybe it's time to pick a fucking side.
I did.
Whoa. If you are a Republican in Congress, if you are a Republican governor, maybe it's time to draw a line in the sand and say that under no circumstances should the President of the United States be calling on his political opposition to be hanged. We are at a very dangerous moment right now. The President is engaged in the wholesale incitement, endorsement, and rationalization of political violence in this country. This is a very slippery slope that we are on. This is a moment for people to step up, for Republicans to step up, for business leaders to step up. Anybody who has a voice or a soapbox in this country,
That's us.
Yeah.
needs to draw a line in the sand and say that it is not acceptable for the President of the United States to call on the murder of his political opposition.
Well, firstly, he didn't call for the murder.
Yeah.
And I think this is an important distinction. Not that I agree with Donald Trump saying on X or on Truth, reposting the hang them or anything like that. But saying someone should be criminally charged and face the penalty of those charges is very different from calling for the murder of them. But I will stress this. The penalty for sedition is up to 20 years in prison, not death. That's why this is like, whoa, pump the brakes there, buddy. Now, I do think it's fair to point out Democrats have been playing the circuitous semantic game for a long time, advocating for violence, celebrating assassinations, lying about Jeffrey Epstein, and instructing the military to defy the chain of command. Let's not forget, and this is Trump's fault for hiring Milley, but Milley bypassed the chain of command to contact China. We have already seen the lines breaking. Democrats have a responsibility, and they are certainly playing dirty games. I have no problem criticizing Trump, saying this is not the appropriate way to handle it, but hey, it takes two to tango.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely hate Chris Murphy.
Yes.
There are very few people in the Senate that I dislike more than him, and everything that I want to say about him after that point is a violation of TOS. So
Save it for the uncensored.
waiting for
I cannot stand him. I hope he stubs his toe every single day for the rest of his life.
I hope he gets a hangnail.
There is nothing good about that guy. He is just absolute garbage.
I don't want to wish like the worst of things on my enemies, but a hangnail's pretty severe.
He's got to be as hysterical as possible, right? So if there's anything, like we talked about the other day, if there's anything you can grab as a position of attack, it's this, and to act absolutely hysterical, to drum everybody up in my opinion, it's going to be really hard to get normal citizens to really care about, the poor politicians, they're scared now. No one cares anymore. We're tired of people being hysterical and over the top, trying to garner a little bit of sympathy, a little bit of a reaction. And it does work. It totally works on the left. Everybody will be like, oh, woe is me, until something like with Charlie Kirk happens. Then for some reason, normal people on your Facebook feed are celebrating it. And he says, this has never happened ever in the country. In 1804, pretty sure Aaron Burr killed Alexander Hamilton, and in 1806, I'm pretty sure Andrew Jackson killed Charles Dickinson. So, I mean, these things have totally happened, but you're being hysterical about it,
Not to mention the people who celebrate John Brown.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, violence is kind of the history of this country.
Yeah, 100%.
Constant turmoil and fighting over borders, boundaries, lands, territories. We owned Mexico for a period, and Polk gave it back. People
Sold it.
He sold it?
Sold it.
He sold it back?
No, I'm sorry. We owned it. We bought it back from Mexico when we actually got it back from them, because Polk gave it back to Mexico, and then the U.S. got it back from.
No. You misunderstand.
We owned part of Mexico.
We owned a huge chunk going way down the Gulf.
My bad.
And he was like, "Yeah, we don't want it. You can get it back." And the Americans were like, "Whoa, we won that through war, bro. This land." But we got California, so I guess that was good for a while. Now I don't know how I feel about it.
Can we return it?
Yeah.
Do we have a receipt?
That's what they have a receipt.
Let's go to the customer service department, please.
Aliska Slotkin, she needs to get her Slotkin. I don't know. I served in a time where we were normal world. I don't know how many military members are actually paying attention. I'm not uncertain, Phil. You might have an idea. I'm paying attention to this and care what they say.
That doesn't matter, though. And this is kind of the big challenge. When it comes to elections, when we say normies don't care about Israel, because we're talking about winning elections.
Yeah.
When we're talking about people murdering each other in the streets at the highest level, all that matters is a tiny fraction of the political elites are ready to kill each other. So every war ever has always been the tiniest percentage of people. That's where you get the phrase the 3%ers from. They say it was 3% of people who fought in the American Revolutionary War, something like that. So as for the sentiment in favor of revolution, you have estimates ranging of upwards of like 40% of the colonies supported it. Then the next biggest faction opposed it. Actually, no, I take that back. I think the plurality was like, we don't know and we don't care. And then you had like 40% and 20% or something like this. And with all wars, it is always a small faction of political elites. I mean, the Matt Taibbi article from several years ago is 2 vehicles are speeding they're at full speed heading to the police department. They slam the brakes on. 2 men jump out, run up to the chief of police and go, arrest that man, at each other. It is always just a small handful of people. In fact, take a look at the history of like a military coup where 15 guys go in a building and the whole government is now under control of somebody else.
Yep.
I want to play this clip for you so you guys know the context here. This is what Democrats said.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
Goodlander.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day.
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
Against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army.
Our Navy.
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
Our Constitution.
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
So the point is, over the past several months with these ICE raids, you have Democrats arguing that Trump's orders of the National Guard have been illegal. The purpose of this, you must watch it in the context of the entire year. If you found a guy who lived in the hyperbaric time chamber with Goku and Vegeta, and he came out and had no idea what was going on. Actually, I take that back because time was slower in there. If Rip Van Winkle woke up today and you showed him this video, he'd go, I don't understand. Yeah, you don't follow illegal orders. You then show him what Democrats have been saying. Here's an example. This is an example of a future sentiment. We already know they've claimed that the deployment of military was illegal. So they're basically saying, in the event Trump tells you you're being deployed from Chicago from Texas to Illinois, say no. Marianne Williamson tweets this. To be fair, she's not an elected politician, but she said, the reason Trump is warning Democratic congresspeople not to interfere with illegal military orders is because he's gearing up for war in Venezuela. He feels his grip is slipping and is responding by trying to tighten it. The context here is she is saying, and I'll stress this, I am not a fan of intervention in Venezuela, but certainly as it comes to foreign wars, there are ways it's handled. And if Congress approves it and authorizes it, Trump can do it. I'm sure there are going to be some circuitous methods by which Trump has the authority to bomb like he is in the Gulf. What she's saying is, if Trump orders action in Venezuela, it's illegal and should be defied. That's the point. Now, as to whether or not it actually would be illegal or whatever, it's beyond just a single individual in the military to make that decision. It's going to be a court-adjudicated process. Yep. But this is the game Democrats are playing. They label what Trump does always as illegal. Then they make another video saying, you don't have to follow illegal orders. We get it. It's sedition.
But what I'm saying also before, military members might not be paying attention. If they're speaking to the military community, I'm not, like say, the modern world, today's politics is culture, but I grew up in a time, I served in a time where there wasn't. So nowadays, maybe they're paying attention, but they have bigger things on their plate than to worry about what some people on the internet are saying.
I think it's worth noting, too, like the idea that Congress is going to declare war, or the idea that Congress is in charge of what military actions the United States takes, like that, the precedent has already been set that the president is the guy that can do it.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.